Yo, listen everybody, we're back. It's Snowball. For those who may not know, this is my podcast. We do these once a week. For those who don't know, I already said that, but for those who don't know, I only do only do games that I can watch. So if I'm not able to watch it, it's like an NBA game that I can't watch. You know, don't get mad at me if your team isn't on national TV because I'm not paying for freaking league pass to watch all these NBA games. All right, now, right, so don't get mad at me if your favorite team isn't getting talked about. Maybe they should be on national TV. Right, that's a completely different story. Anyways, oh my goodness, it's okay. I shouldn't probably said all that, but that's just how they usually work. You know, if I'm able to watch it, I'll talk about it. That's how this works. All right. Let's get into it. We have Rockets and Spurs. Now, the Rockets came out hot. Like the first 7 minutes, didn't miss a single shot. They went like 7 for 7, I think, bro. And like they really carried that momentum throughout the majority of the game, pretty much. Um, like they did have a couple of double-digit leads here and there. The lead was as big as 16 at one point, right? Um, it was 59-43 as I had written down here in my notes. Rockets went up at half, 8, right? And then like coming out to the third quarter though, here's my thing. In basketball, the third quarter is in my eyes the most important quarter, right? Because the third, like, no matter what happens in the first half, if you come out strong in that third quarter can change the whole trajectory of the game. And that's what really happened in the third quarter. The third quarter happened. The the Spurs, they came out locked in. Let's say that. They came out hot. They brought the lead down to 4 at one point. It was even down to 1. It was even down like to 3 or 2 at one point, right? And right there, and then the Rockets brought it back, right? And then they got close again, and they finally took the lead with like 2:30 left in the third. And they kind of went back and forth with the lead from there. The Rockets went to the fourth with the lead, but and then coming out to the fourth quarter, bro, like the Spurs, they continued to carry their momentum. Like they went on like a 9-0 run, they went on a 9-0 run in the beginning of the not the first quarter, fourth quarter. Like like the Rockets just came out flat. I'm gonna just say that. Like the second half, the Rockets only scored 36 points. In the second half, the Rockets only scored 36. No. 37 points. My bad. 37 points. Right? You're never gonna win scoring 37 points in the second half. I don't care. I mean, well, it depends on how far ahead you are, but like it was crazy, man. Like, I mean, the fourth and third quarter, they just got straight dominated, man. And I was getting ready to say this was gonna be a blowout because it looked like a blowout. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, they're not gonna get close or whatever. And boy, was I wrong. And I'm always happy to be wrong. Cavs versus Lakers. I actually didn't watch the first. I didn't watch the first quarter of this because I thought the game came on at 8 o'clock and not 7:30 like it did. So I missed the first quarter of this. But in the second quarter though, not the Cavs, but the Lakers have a 9-run lead, right? And not a 9-run lead, a 9-point lead. I'm still waking up, so sorry, you can probably see that. But the Cavs, not the Cavs, the Lakers had a 9-point lead from by the time that I was started watching. Then the Cavs went on a little run to get the lead down to 4. I was very impressed by Tomlin. The dude that didn't really play much basketball in his career. He played for 4 different colleges. Him, and then Tyson, bro. Them two, they dogs, bro. Oh my god, bro. They some dogs, bro. If they continue to progress like they progressing for real, bro, oh, they gonna be. Cavs gonna be dangerous, bro. Watch out for them, right? With 2 minutes left to go, though, the Cavs took a 1-point lead, and then the Cavs are going to half with a 2-point lead, right? And I said the third quarter is the most important quarter of basketball. This happens again. The Cavs, they come out hot, and they come out hot out of half, bro. They extend their lead to double digits. It was 76-65. They literally dominated that third quarter, and by the end of it, they were leading by 22 points. Like, you see how a good third quarter can do for you. That's what happened. It took a great third quarter, took a 2-point lead, and turned it into a 22-point lead. Now it also does have to happen with, also the Lakers just, I don't know why, but they seem to just come out flat sometimes. I don't know what it is about the Lakers, but they just have times where they just don't look like they want to play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's just like the Lakers need to do something, because I don't even know how to explain it, bro. It's just like they care sometimes, and other times they don't care. Like, that's all I can really say is like they care sometimes, and then other times they don't care. And it's like one of the weirdest things ever, dude. Like, but enough about the Lakers, man. We're going on to the other LA team. It's Jazz versus Clippers. Oh, to mention one last thing though. That was LeBron. That might have been LeBron's final time in Cleveland, so they did a little tribute video to him. I don't know whether they didn't do it before the game started, in the middle of the game, but whatever. Yeah. We have Jazz and Clippers. This was a really good game. Until the third quarter. Again, who knew that a third quarter would be this influential? Oh my goodness. But no, seriously. The third quarter is the most important quarter, because if you come out strong, if you have a good third quarter, you are set up great for the fourth quarter, and that's what the Clippers were set up by. It was a close game all the way through the first quarter, through the first half, really. Ace Bailey hit a last-second buzzer beater 3 to take the lead for the Jazz, 54-53. And then the third quarter happened. And you know who was a star player of the third quarter, bro? Chris Dunn. Former Timberwolf. Former Bull. Chris Dunn. And it was like, who? Yeah, Chris Dunn had 11 points in the third quarter. He had a bunch of steals. He had 3 steals, a couple of 3. He had 1 3, and he kind of set the Clippers up for the fourth quarter. Like I said, and it was you would think that out of all the people that would have a big quarter, it'd be like, oh, I bet Kawhi had a big quarter. No, I bet James Harden had a big quarter. But Chris Dunn, though, you know, it was a good game, though. You know, I will say that it was a good game, though. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. This is my first, you know, experience of the Jazz. You know what I mean? I was like kind of impressed with what I seen. You know what I mean? They did have too many, like, I would say this, they did have one too many one and done kind of possessions, though. I will say that I wasn't too fond of the one and done possessions, though. Anyways, we have Bucks and 76ers. For the majority of the game, okay, so we knew coming into this that Giannis would be out 4 to 6 weeks, right? So they needed someone to step up and play great, right? They had Bobby Portis, who didn't really play the best because he was in foul trouble. You had Ryan Rollins, who I didn't even really see his name all that much in the game. And then we had Miles Turner, who had 30 points. Now they probably would have won this if they had Giannis. But this is kind of hindsight 2020. But they remained in it somewhat. You know what I mean? Due to how good they were shooting from three. Like, literally, they were down 2 at one point, and down 6 at one point. You know what I mean? Like, they had a chance to take the lead. You know what I mean? But it's just like they just didn't have enough to actually like take that lead. And obviously, like, oh, hindsight 2020. If Giannis plays this game, or if Kevin Porter Jr. plays this game, gives that extra boost on offense, yeah, maybe they do win this game because it. You know what I mean? So hindsight's all 2020. But what really took the game away from the Bucks is that the 3 stopped dropping. You know what I mean? Because like I said, that's what was keeping them in the game for so long, is how well they were able to shoot from 3. If you're able to shoot from 3 well, no matter if you're down by double digits, it's still a manageable lead because a couple of threes can get you right back into the end. And I know we've seen it happen a bunch of times in the 2000s, though. You know, that's not feasible because, like, there weren't many great 3-point shooters. Now, on every team, there's great 3-point shooters. So, at any point, someone could get high and bring the lead down to single digits. In the 90s and 2000s, we don't have that. In the 80s, we don't really have that. We have maybe 1 or 2 people. We don't have sharpshooters. You know what I mean? 2000s was really that turning of the corner because you had people like Wally Zerbiak. You had Ray Allen, who was still pretty like athletic at the time, but also a sharpshooter. You had Kyle Korver, you had Peja Stojakovic. You had a whole host of people in the 2000s that were mainly sharpshooters that could bring the lead down to single digits if they got hot. You know what I mean? But the thing is, though, they couldn't knock down the threes. And another thing is, Paul George, PG8, went crazy. He had 30, I think he had like 32 points in the whole game. He had 16 of them in that third quarter. Yeah, bro was cooking. He was cooking. I was like, dang. He looked like vintage PG. Man, I'm getting old, yo. I'm getting old, bruh. And then Tyrese had like 20-something. Embiid had 29. You know what I mean? The 76ers just didn't have enough to keep up with the 76ers. Moving on, Warriors and Wolves. Wolves are without Anthony Edwards. Warriors are obviously without Curry. Well, not obviously, but they were out. They're out obviously with Jimmy Butler. They're out with Curry. They're out with Draymond. So It's basically a bunch of, I want to say a bunch of randoms. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. Let me not say randoms, but like a bunch of like sort of semi-starters / bench players, right? And it really showed because the the Warriors weren't able to get nothing going. I'm gonna be honest with you. They were undersized. They were undermatched. They couldn't get nothing going. I think they're supposed to say Wolves, but at one point in the fourth, I think the Warriors only had 57 points in the fourth. Because that should not say Warriors lead by 17 when they didn't have 75. Let me see this. Can I get the game caps? Yeah, that's 18, 38, 38, 57. Yeah. Going into the fourth quarter, they only had 57 points. Yeah. Yeah, the Warriors just, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, this isn't. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm disappointed. I mean, and I'm a Warriors fan. But that was just horrendous. I mean, like the highest scoring person for them was 13 points by Quentin Post. No one got more than 13. Bones Highland outscored them. He had 17. No disrespect to Bones Highland though, but like, come on. Moving on. We have Magic and Cavs. This was a relatively close game. For the most part, at half the Cavs were up by 3. By the third quarter's end, they were up by 10, 91-81. It was a pretty close game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't really have much notes on it outside just like what the scores were and everything like that. Like the Magic had a lead for the majority of that for the first quarter and in like half of that second quarter. So like a good 18 minutes of the game they had the lead and then they kind of pissed it away. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They kind of pissed it away. I know the Cavs are a good team. The Cavs are a good team, though, and the Magic are obviously a good team as well. So, it is kind of sad though that I think they are missing Mo Wagner, so that kind of didn't help them at all. You know, yeah, I don't really remember much about this game. To be honest with you, sorry. We have Rams versus Seahawks. This is Sunday Night Football, baby. The NFC Championship game. And this is going to be a little jokey joke, so please don't take it seriously. But JSN is from Dallas, I think. He has a Dallas Cowboys star tattooed on his body. This is the first time since 1996 that the Dallas Cowboys have been represented in the Super Bowl. JSN is going to break the curse. Next year is going to be our year. Next year is going to be our year because JSN has broken the curse, all right? They're also going to win the Super Bowl, and then JSN is going to break the curse because he's wearing the Cowboys. He has the Cowboys logo tattooed on his arm. He's going to break the curse. It's going to happen. 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 Now, this was an amazing game. Rams offense played out of their mind. They got sold, though, by their special teams, which, wow, what a shocker. One of the lacking sides of the ball kind of sold you. And then their defense sold them as well. You gave up 31 and you expect your team to win. Now, I will say this, Sean McVay, when when Puka Nakua caught that back shoulder ball to bring it 31-26, why didn't you go for two? Why didn't you go for two? Because then with 5 minutes left to go in the game, you wouldn't have to go for it all in order to win the game when you could have just taken your three. Or when Devontae Adams scored and it was 19-24. Why didn't you go for two then? So that when Puka Nakua scored, it was a 3-point game. Now, obviously hindsight's 2020, but I don't understand why you don't. I don't understand why you don't go for two in those two situations. It doesn't make sense to me. I find it kind of stupid that you wouldn't go for two there in either of those situations. But I'm not a coach. What do I know? I'm just an 18-year-old who talks about sports. What do I know? I actually know a lot, but that's just not fun. But I think it's just very stupid play calling that you wouldn't go for two in either of those situations. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all deserve to lose. But it also didn't help though that your defense played like dog shit. And where was Byron Young and Jervis? Where were they? And where was you kind of special things can kind of say twice. He bobbled it twice. My goodness, man. Moving on though, we have Broncos and Pats. I'm not gonna say I called it, but I'm gonna say I called it. I knew the Broncos weren't gonna make it to the Super Bowl. I knew it. I knew the Broncos weren't gonna make it to the Super Bowl. I told y'all that the Patriots were gonna make it to the Super Bowl. Now that I know it's gonna happen in this way, absolutely not. But I knew the Broncos weren't gonna make it. Their offense just isn't that good. It also didn't help that Jarrett Stidham was their quarterback. You know what I mean? But he played pretty good. I will say that for the first half though, Drake May, for y'all trying to be like, oh, he's scheduled, man, bro. The Pats had an easy schedule. It's only an easy schedule if you win the games. You know what I mean? Like, the games are only easy if you win. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they played this team and this team and this team. Well, yeah, it's only an easy win if you actually won the game. You know what I mean? And then they play the Bills. No. That's the Bills fight. But they did play the Bills fight for them division. But like, it's only an easy schedule if you actually beat those teams. And then, they had to face Justin Herbert with no line. Yeah, well, the Chargers had a great defense. Oh, they had to play CJ Stroud. Okay, Drake May had to play the Texans defense. He didn't play CJ Stroud per se. He played the Texans defense, which is a great defense. One of the top 5 in the league. He's like number 3. He played 3 top 5 defenses back to back to back. Either top 5 or top 10 defenses, right? Because depending on what metric you use, the Chargers are number 5, the Chargers are number 10, right? But he faced the Chargers who are number 10 and number 5. He faced the Texans who are number 5, who are number 3 in the league. He faced the number 1 defense in the Denver Broncos. And y'all trying to use, He played Justin Herbert with no O-line. Oh, he played C.J. Stroud. Oh, he played the Broncos with no Bo Nix. He didn't play these guys. He played their defenses. And you know what he did? He won. So sit your hating asses down and watch this nigga take his team to the fucking Super Bowl. Alright? Maybe stop fucking complaining for once in your goddamn life. Oh, he played terrible. It don't matter. He won the game. He came up clutch when it mattered. When the team needed to play, it was a third down to seal the game. What did he do? He used his legs to win the game. That's what great players do. When they're having a bad game, they still find a way to win the game. Josh Allen doesn't do that. Josh Allen don't do that. Josh Allen don't do that. So sit your happy ass, sit your hating asses down and watch this nigga take his team to a Super Bowl. Bills fans, how about it? Yo, like, oh, this is our year. Only for Josh Allen to once again sell y'all in the playoffs. He's not clutch. He's not clutch. He's not clutch. All right. Ran out the way. I just want to say that Jared Jim did play good. It was kind of questionable the call though. That like the backwards pass kind of thing. Like, yeah, I get it. I understand it. It's kind of questionable though. I will say though, but it's whatever. I am not gonna think too much about it because it's not much I really care about. Okay. We have Bucks and Nuggets. So this was the game where Giannis self-diagnosed himself with an injury, which I think is absolutely hilarious. He self-diagnosed himself and then got it right. Like, yo, this nigga. Yo, Giannis is crazy, bro. This game was crazy, bro. So when I saw Giannis go out, bro, I thought this game was over. Like he had a terrible game. I mean, obviously, well, he was hurt, you know what I mean? But he had a really bad game, though. And even then, the Bucks almost won the game without him. Like, they actually almost won the game without Giannis. Like it was a close game for the first half, right? The first half was 48-42, right? Then the third quarter happened. The Nuggets, they were up 68-55, and they were up by 15 at the quarter's end, 78-63, right? The Bucks, though, they kept fighting, bro. They kept fighting. Late in the fourth, bro. I don't know why I keep saying, bro. Like, I'm not talking to no one. It's just like how I normally talk. But late in the fourth, though, 10-0 run, 95-87, bro. And then the thing is, Eric Collins on this game, he was peak. It was peak, bro. Like, I love Eric Collins. He brings so much energy to the game of basketball. Like, he's actually so much fun to hear. But Eric Collins on the call is absolute cinema, dude. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But like I'm saying though, Eric Collins on the call is peak. It was a 2-point game at one point. It was a 2-point game all the way to the end. The Nuggets somehow won though, despite losing Aaron Gordon because he went out in like the second quarter with an injury. It was 102-100. I was fully prepared for the Bucks to come back and win. I was fully prepared. I was like, yo, this is actually gonna happen. What is going on? You know, I thought that once Giannis went out, I was like, oh, they're cooked. But they kept fighting. I was like, and I'm like, well, where was that fight when y'all went up against the 76ers? And if you ask me, the Nuggets They didn't have. Well, they did have Jamal Murray, but what was that fight against the 76ers though? You know what I mean? Like, what was that at? But I'm not seeing it here nor there. Pretty good. Got a lot. I'm not the biggest Mountain Dew fan, but you know I'm more of a Sprite kind of guy. One bad cranberry, you know I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. I'm gonna shut it down. All right. Pistons and Rockets. They were tied at half. Very close game all the way. Tied through half. The Rockets, they retake the lead by 6 1 5 minutes left to go. And by the end of the third quarter, they're up 86-72, right? Coming out of half, though, not coming out of half, but coming out of the third, to start the fourth, right? The Pistons went on an 11-1 run, and they were kind of like in it for the majority, like that third quarter, like they were kind of battling it, trying to take the lead, and take over the game and everything like that. But the Rockets still, like, no matter like whenever like the Pistons got close, the Houston would rally right back, and like that's kind of what there's like hey, we're gonna let you get close. But then we're gonna like extend the lead again. So like you're not really close, but you're close, but you're not really close. Like it's teasing you. You know what I mean? In the fourth, and like despite that rally, the Houston holds an 8-point lead into the fourth, and despite the Pistons continuing to fight, continuing to try to keeping the game close and everything like that. The Rockets hold on to win, 111-104. I thought this was a great game, though. This is what happens when you have two great teams. This is what happens. It was like, I don't expect it to be a blow. Excuse me. I don't ever expect it to be a blowout. I always expect it to be a close game. And I was thoroughly impressed by what I had saw from both teams. I've seen a lot of the Rockets, so I know how well they can play. I surprisingly, for being the number 1 seed in the East, I don't see a lot of the Pistons, sadly, which is kind of a shame because I want to see more of the Pistons. You know what I mean? But I see a whole ton of the Lakers, though. I see a whole ton of Lakers. But not no Pistons. Yeah, it's all about that. It's all about that money. It's all about the money. We got about the all right, yeah. Let me stop singing. Cha-ching. All right. That's enough. That was a good song. Price, that was a great song. I love that song actually. That's a great song. I'm gonna listen to that today. I'm gonna also listen to "I Get Money." That's a really good song too, by 50 Cent. That's a really good song. A really good song. Alright. So, alright, we have the Battle of LA. It got out of hand, like, pretty quickly. Like, for the first quarter, like, it wasn't too bad. It was a 7-point game, right? 7-point game going into the second quarter, 36-29. The second quarter, though, was when things really got out of hand. At half, it was a 17-point lead, and it got as bad as a 26-point lead, right? Right? Lakers, like, the same thing happened with the Lakers and the Nuggets game. Like, the Nuggets went up this, like, really huge, like, by a huge lead, and the Lakers fought right back, and they were able to manage to get it down to 14 by the end of the third, right? After being down by like 20 plus for the majority of that third quarter, right? The Lakers were able to then cut it down to 10 and then cut it down to 5, right? And this is where the Lakers would cut down the lead, but then the Clippers would extend it right back. And it's like they were always able to get close, but never close enough to actually take the lead. You know what I mean? But so despite the Clippers' best, not the Clippers' best efforts, but the Lakers' best efforts in trying to come back and win the game, they were unsuccessful, and the Clippers won 112-104. This is the second time that they've beaten the Lakers as well, I think. Which is kind of crazy. Because I remember a time where the Lakers used to dominate the Clippers. Now it's looking like the opposite, and it's probably because of Luka and LeBron and just the whole Lakers team not wanting to play, I guess. I don't know. Oh my goodness, dude. All right. We have the final game of the podcast. Warriors and Mavericks. Warriors and Mavericks, right? Let me see the game log. Let me see the box score. So D'Anthony Melton had 22, okay. And then Steph Curry had 38. So it was Steph and D'Anthony Melton and friends, pretty much. I'm gonna say that. Steph Curry, D'Anthony Melton, and friends. Everyone else, bums. Just bums, dude. 9 from Pod, 10 from Kuminga, 6 from Heald. Al Horford played 26 points and can only muster up 3 points. Moses Moody had 12, I guess. Gary Payton had 4. Buddy Hield had 6. We probably should have. I would say the Warriors probably should have given more minutes to Kuminga, because in 9 minutes he had 10 points. But let's look on the math side. Najee Marshall had 30. Cooper Flag had 21. Max Christie had 21. Williams had 19. PJ Washington had 10. Dwight Powell had 10. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like pretty balanced scoring to me, if you ask me. It was literally Steph Curry and D'Anthony Melton and friends. Like, literally. Steph Curry and D'Anthony Melton were single-handedly keeping the Warriors in this game. I even wrote it on here. It was like a really close game throughout the whole entire game. I will say this though, like, really, really close game all the way through. I even wrote it here. Steph-less. Because that's what it was. That's what it was. He made it look Steph-less. Now, if you know ball, that was the thing they said in the 2K3 halftime show, right? Whenever you play Steph Curry, it would be him, it would be Ernie, Shaq, and Kenny. They're like, he made it look Steph-less. Like, he made it look Steph-less, bro. Literally, he kept them in the game until the Mavs went on an 11-0 run, and they lost by 8, 123-150. This was literally Steph Curry and D'Anthony Melton and friends. Like, I'm sorry, but give my man some help. Like, either get him some help or trade him out of here. I don't think he wants to be traded, but at some point though, you gotta realize what's best for you. Like, you're still very much in your prime, and it's like, how much time do you have left, and how much time are you actually going to spend it with this team? Pod, what are you doing? Kuminga, give Kuminga some more minutes. Moses Moody, where were you? You know, Clemson Post, where were you? You know, but yeah, that's it for me today. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.